Hi guys, welcome to the video. So today I've got the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 together with me, and I've just installed Miui 12 on this device. So let me show you that pretty quick here. So here you can see it says Miui 12. This is the build number, I think. I'm not pretty sure. So this here is the very first Miui 12 build for the Redmi Note 7. And because of that, there may be a lot of bugs inside of this ROM. So I personally think that it's still usable, so you can use this ROM as your daily driver, but you definitely need to keep in mind that you will face some bugs here and there. So if you are a businessman and if you have got important stuff going on your phone, so do not install this ROM to your phone. Yeah, but overall, as I've said before, it is usable, but I would only install it if you want to take a look at MIUI 12, and only if you don't have problems with having bugs in your system. And bugs is not the only problem, so the phone may freeze here and there, so sometimes you need to reset your phone in order to be able to use it again. But yeah, so if you want to install this ROM just to take a look at MIUI 12, this is the right video for it. So to be able to install this ROM, you need to download this ROM, of course, and paste it to the device storage. So you can download the ROM from the description of this video. And yeah, I'm not pretty sure, but you don't need an unlocked bootloader, I think. And yeah, right. So the first thing which you need to do in order to install this ROM is to power off your device. Then you will need to go to the recovery mode. So I'm pretty sure that the stock recovery mode is also able to install this ROM. So it doesn't matter which recovery you've installed on your device. So in my case, I've got the Orange Fox recovery installed on my Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. But if you haven't installed any recoveries to your Note 7, you can still go on with the steps I will. So press the volume up button and the power button at the same time to boot up to the recovery mode. So here we are. So as I've said before, this here is the Orange Fox recovery project. If you haven't installed any custom recovery to your device, you will see the Mi logo or something like that, and the recovery itself, it will look a bit different, but the way it works is still the same. So Orange Fox recovery, which I've got over here, supports full touch, so you can touch the screen to select your installation file. On the stock recovery, you probably need to use the volume rockers and the power button in order to navigate through the recovery. Yeah, so the very first thing which you need to do is to go to the wipe section and fulfill a full wipe. You will also need to wipe the devlink, the cache, the system, and the vendor. You don't need to wipe anything else, so you can stick with the data you got on your phone, and this process will delete all of your apps, all of your settings, and so on. But your internal data, like your music and your pictures, your videos, will still be stored in the internal storage of your device. But you will lose your apps, your settings, and all that. Yeah, so if you tick data, you will also lose all of your apps, as I've said before. But if you don't need to tick the internal storage. So if you do so, you will lose your photos, your pictures, your videos as well. You don't need to select internal storage. Then swipe to wipe. So on the normal recovery, so this here is the Orange Fox recovery, as I've said many times. In the normal recovery, you haven't got the option to select which partition you want to wipe. In the normal recovery, you can wipe everything or leave it as it is. But I would definitely recommend you to wipe everything. So if you have got a custom recovery, you can decide which partitions you want to wipe and which you want to keep. So it's better to have a custom recovery installed on your device. Right. After the reset is successful, go back and go to the files section. In the normal recovery, you will need to press on install zip or something like that, and then you will need to find your zip data. Okay, so if you have wiped everything, you will need to paste the ROM again on your phone. So if you have wiped the internal storage, you will need to copy the ROM file on your phone once again. But since I've got the Orange Fox recovery, I haven't selected the internal storage, so the internal storage is still there. I haven't wiped it. and therefore my ROM file is still in my internal storage. But you can also take advantage of the micro SD card slot. You can put your ROM file in the micro SD card slot, and then you can delete like everything and do a full clean install of MIUI 12. Yeah, just locate your file, press on there, and swipe to install. So this process could take like 1 or 2 minutes. You just need to be patient. Um, and yeah. Alright, so the installation process is finished right now. After the process is finished, you can go back and do a wipe again. But now you need to do a normal wipe, so do not wipe the system and the vendor and all that. So just do a normal wipe without selecting any of these here. Right, then you can say reboot system. So press on there and just reboot the system. So in some cases, the ROM won't boot up. So if you got the case, you need to boot up the phone once again. So you will need to press on the volume down button and on the power button for like 10 seconds. And when the screen goes black, you need to release holding these keys. And on some other cases, in the worst case scenario, your phone won't boot up at all. Or it will boot up and boot to the recovery instead of the system. In that case, you will need to go to the recovery once again and wipe everything again and flash the MIUI installer once again. After that, you will need to reboot your phone and then you're good to go. So in some cases, you will need to install the ROM 2 times instead of 1 time. And yeah, so just wait until the phone boots up. So this process could also take like 2 or 3 minutes. And if it takes longer than 3 minutes, you can turn off your phone and go to the recovery and install it once again, as I've said. So yeah, but definitely be sure to wait at least 3 minutes. Right, guys, so the phone booted up, I think, so at least the animation is not there anymore. So you can see the screen is still turned on. And you can also hear the lock sound here. So this is one of the bugs Miui 12 has got on the Redmi Note 7. So if you face a system bug like that, you need to reboot your phone. In order to do that, you will need to press the volume down button and the power button at the same time until you hear the vibration. Okay, now we are in fast boot mode, so this was not the thing I wanted to achieve with doing that. So let's press on these two buttons again. Alright. So we need to wait once again. So, as you can see, the phone booted up now, and now we got a picture. So it says that this device is locked, and I will need to unlock this device with my Xiaomi account. But for that, I will need to connect to my Wi-Fi network first. So you can see that the welcome screen or the setup menu of MIUI 12 looks quite different. So you can see it has got the colors just like in One UI. So you got this white background with this blue accent color, just like in One UI of Samsung. Yeah, so let me unlock this device and then we're going to take a look at this system. Alright guys, so here we go. So you can see the new wallpaper of MIUI 12, which reminds me of the wallpaper of iOS, of the iPhones. In general, MIUI 12 works just like iOS does. So you can see, okay, so you can see that your notifications and your control center is separated now from each other, and you can also see that this ROM is quite buggy, so you can see everything has got blurred right now and the system does not respond. Okay, so here we go. This is the new control center. It looks like the one from iOS with these new categories. So if you got this circle. Okay, so you get the circled toggles for the less important settings, while you get bigger buttons for more important things like the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and that. You can also see that you get some force causes here at the bottom, and you can also see that there are some graphical issues like this pop-up here. And yeah, so in general, it is. I thought that it was usable, but as you can see, it has got plenty of bugs here, so now it doesn't respond at all. Okay, here we go. It works, but it does not work great. Okay, so I would not use this for as my daily driver, but in general the system is quite nice, and I think there are even some more things which iOS hasn't got. Of course, you get all these Android features with a iOS look, we can say. But yeah, and I think that I've even copied Samsung's One UI a little bit, so you can see that you got the settings label over there, and when you scroll up, you can see that the settings label moved to the top there, just like in One UI. So I haven't got enough time to show you all of these features. I'm pretty sure that there are already a lot of videos about the features of MIUI 12, so you can watch those. Yeah, it works, as you can see, but it does not work well. But I'm pretty sure that there will be a stable build in a few weeks, maybe even in a few days. So yeah, so that was MIUI 12 on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. Peace out.